So for today's video, we are going to do my weekly plan with me a little bit different. So I'm going to design my weekly kit with you guys. I designed this past week's kit, the week that we're in right now, which is the first week of December. That is what you're looking at here on the screen. But I'm going to design next week's kit with you guys, and then at the end of this video, we'll actually lay the stickers down and see it all come together. So I've already done a few things, and I know that you guys wanted to see this design with me, but there's a couple things that I just wanted to get done beforehand because I knew they would take me a little bit longer. The two things are that I picked out what file I wanted to use from Etsy. So I bought these like digital. There's more. I've just pulled out what I like, which I'll explain in just a second. But this is like digital paper or like digital scrapbooking paper or whatever. Sorry. So I don't know how to turn that off. So we may just get text throughout this, but who knows? You can live life with me today. So anyways, this is like digital paper. I get it off Etsy. Usually I pay like 99 cents per pack, and you get all of this in a pack, plus these that are over here on the right-hand side of the screen at the bottom. And yeah, so I went ahead and picked this out just because that's more of me like sitting here looking through them, going through my own thought process on what I like. So I went ahead and picked that out. And then I also went through each one of these, clicked on them, looked at them, and I drug the ones I like over here to the bottom right-hand side of the corner, or bottom right-hand corner on the screen, whatever. So I'm going to show you guys what I have to do in order to get them into Cricut Design Space. So I've picked out the ones I like. Now, what I do is I take each one and I will edit it. So I crop like this portion of it. You don't have to get a big portion of it, but that way it will fit into Design Space without taking 40 hours to load. It doesn't really, it just won't load. It'll tell me that, the image is too big, whatever. So I crop out a bunch of it. Make it pretty small, like less than half the size of it, so that way it'll actually go into Design Space a lot easier. Now, this is on a MacBook, so I'm not quite sure how you would do this. I know you can crop images on any computer, so you just have to figure out what works for your computer, but if you are using Cricut Design Space on a MacBook, then this is the exact process that you could follow. I'm sure there's other ways to do all of what I'm going to do, but this is just kind of how I'm doing it. So, but you're getting to see the kit that I chose. This is I will link the digital paper site that I get it off on Etsy in the description box so that you guys can check this pack out. The pack that I used this week came from the same business or whatever on Etsy, so you can definitely check both of those out. I do want to say before we get started that the kit that you're looking at right here was my very first weekly kit ever. So there are a few changes I'm going to make this coming week. Just after I laid it down, I realized that I didn't quite like some of the things or the way they fit or the sizing on some things. So you're going to see me change a couple things, but that's just kind of how I roll. I'm just kind of, doing it and then reflecting back on it. So I'm also going to keep the same page up the whole time because I have not figured out on Cricut, and I may try here in just a second, but I have not figured out on Cricut Design Space how I can copy and paste, like how I could grab this whole page, copy it, and then start a new one and paste it in there to change it. I don't really want to lose this. I would like to keep it because it was my first weekly kit and I have it saved as that. But I don't know how I could get it to move over to a new screen. So that's just kind of where I'm at right now. I will share the sizes of things that I have with you guys and how I'm changing the sizes so you guys will get all of that. So if you want to jot that down, then go ahead and get your paper and pen ready because I will share with you the dimensions that I used. These are dimensions that are in no way probably like the right thing to do, but I just got a ruler out and measured my own planner and kind of went from there. So that is the deal. I'm going to go ahead and try to copy. I wonder if I could, let's do both. I'm going to grab everything and we're going to try this. So I'm going to copy it And then I'm going to click New. And it's not letting me paste that way. So I'm going to try Control or Command V. Yeah, it's not going to work that way either. So I don't know how to do it. If you guys have any insight on how to do that, then by all means let me know. But I do not know how in the world to do that. So we're just going to go right on back to where I was at a minute ago. And we're just going to customize this one. Alright, so I do want to mention, it's going to take it a second. There were a couple things that I had to do that you're not going to see me actually get to do this time since I'm not starting over with a full new kit. It just took me like hours. It took me a couple days to work on this. And I know that I don't want this video to be that long. So one of those things, and I'm just going to move this guy out of the way for now. Move him down there. Alright, so we'll start with this dude. So one of the things that I want to mention is how I get the design, like the Cricut machine, to kiss cut these stickers, so the actual stickers with color, and then it will full on cut the edge. I don't know if that's exactly the right terminology to use for that, but I feel like somebody asked that in a comment or was trying to get something around that effect, and I know that when I started doing this, there weren't a lot of videos that explained how to do that. So I want to quickly just kind of show you what I did to get this the way it is. So the first thing that I did, and it's going to be slow because there's so much on this page, I insert a shape. I always do a square. I go up here and make it a print item, and I'm just going to make it like green for now just so that it will stick out. Usually it's white, but we'll do that in a minute. And then I make it 4.5 inches tall by 6.5 inches wide. So, actually I think it might be 6.75. Let me see what this one is. 6.75. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the green one. Come on. And we're going to make it 6.75. So that is enough. That's like half of a piece of paper if you're cutting on Cricut Design Space. So what I do is I make that. I'm going to lock my dimensions back. And then I make like 5 copies of it. So I'm going to duplicate it 4 more times so that I end up with 5 total. And then I grab all of them, center it, and attach. Now, of course, this would all be white. So this is what you're seeing behind these stickers over here. So you're seeing that back there. But that is how I get it to actually cut all the way through the sticker paper and not just kiss cut it like a sticker would. So I just attach all of that. And then once I get all of my actual stickers designed and placed how I want them on top of this, I will attach everything. So I'll attach all the stickers to each other, and then I will center them and attach them to this. So I just wanted to point that out because that's how you get it to cut out the actual sticker paper to make like a sticker sheet without cutting it like it would be a sticker, if that makes any sense. I hope that I'm getting that out there correctly. But alright, so let's go ahead and get started on this. So I'm going to start with this sheet. So this has our little box that will cover up the calendar in the top left corner of your planner. I am doing this for an Erin Condren hourly life planner. That's just what I use, so that's what I'm making the stickers for. But you can probably find different dimensions depending on what you're making your stickers for. But anyways, this is what goes in the top left corner, and then I have my header strips that has the days, and then the washi that I put at the bottom. I also have my date stickers that I'll fill in the box with. I think this time I may just print it with the stickers. With the dates already in the little white box, just because I'm using it for a specific week, so I already know what dates I need. So I'll probably delete all of these number dates and then just fill the number in the box, if that makes sense. But, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just zoom us in, and I'm going to click on it and unflatten everything. It's going to take it a second. It just takes a minute to go through everything. Alright, so then we have just all the stickers. We're going to click detach. So I'm going to get everything loose of each other. So everything will be kind of out on its own now. Alright, So the first thing I want to do is change, I just like to do this box first. So what I'm going to do is click on the box, or actually, you know what, I have to import my things. I forgot I saved this so I could show you guys how to do it. So when you're trying to, let me go back. When you're trying to do like a pattern fill or fill in a little box like this, you can insert your box. So I just insert a square. You'll make it a print image. Get it down to the dimensions you want, which I'll share with you in just a second. So you'll get it to the dimensions you want, and then you can click pattern and it will fill in a pattern. But I like to insert my own patterns, the ones that I bought off Etsy, so that's what I'm going to do now. So you'll go over to upload, you'll do upload a pattern, and I'm just going to go ahead and do all of them at once so that we don't have to keep going back. And I'm just going to name them something like, this one we'll call brown snowflakes. And then you hit save. And it is going to take it a second. It's because there's so much detail in the file. Usually it takes it just like a minute or so, but I have like had to wait forever sometimes, so let's hope that we don't have to do that today. I do have a lot of other things running. I'm uploading a video right now, and I'm also downloading some wedding pictures. So we may be a little bit slower than normal. So you can see it says successful, so I'm just going to go in and we're going to do the next one. This one we'll call like, we'll just say candy canes. And then I need to figure out exactly which one I want to make as my like head thing. This one we'll call red snowflakes. And I'm also going to show you guys, somebody left a comment on one of my videos about how to like color drop one of the colors from anything on your screen or like on a website or anything and be able to put that into Design Space so that you can match colors perfectly. So I am going to show you guys what I used for that today as far as what I've downloaded, like the app that I'm using to do that on my computer. But I do want to say a huge thank you to whoever it was that like commented that because it has definitely been helpful to figure out how to do that without, usually I would just have to try and like get it as close as I possibly can just like by me looking at it and kind of gauging, you know, where we're at. But it definitely makes it a lot easier and it comes out looking a lot prettier if you use this little app that I've downloaded, or I'm sure you could find others, but that's just the one that I use, and I'll also have it linked in the description box. Alright, so this is our, I don't want to do it like that. We're going to just say brown Santas. Okay, cool. So that was our last one. So that's everything that we're going to possibly use for this week's thing. I may not use all of them, but that's just what we're going to start with. All right, so the first dimension I'm going to give you is this little box that covers up the calendar, if it will load. And while I'm telling you the dimensions, they are written up here at the top of the size. So this one is 1.5 inches wide by 1 3/4 inches tall. So that is the dimensions for this box, and that covered the calendar perfectly. So that I'm just going to leave that at the same dimensions. It turned out awesome. So now I'm going to go up here, and we're on pattern already. So all of these patterns right here are the ones that I just entered. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these first 5 are all the ones that we just put in. So now we just have to figure out which one it is that we want to make like our main picture, because that little box is what you see the most of, I guess, in a week. You definitely use them for your washi and for some other stickers, but the box is the biggest part where you see the whole sticker. So I thought about doing Santa, so I'm going to see what that looks like. But anyways, you just click on whichever one it is you want. You'll see it comes up like really zoomed out. So I go into Edit Pattern and I like scale it over some. And then you can see it kind of gets a little larger. Let's see. The only thing I don't like about that is how it's cutting off some of Santa's head. That sounds terrible, but it is. And I guess it's because of how far down I cut the image. So you can't like drag it around. So in order to not get that little cutoff piece, we're going to have to make it pretty largely scaled. It's going to have to be like down here somewhere. And I don't necessarily like that. So let's pick a different one. Let's try candy canes. It may do the same thing, but it might not look quite as bad with candy canes. Okay, yeah, so we could use candy canes. I'm going to leave it right there. I just have it scaled. I don't usually use the same scale every single time. I just do it until it looks pretty good, so I'm happy with that. So now we've got that as candy canes. I may end up changing that because I don't necessarily like it. I wanted to use the Santas, so I may have to resize my Santa. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's see if I can resize. I bet you it's not. I'm going to have to like, how can I do that without having to re-download it? There was another Santa, but it had other stuff in it, and I didn't really care for that. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's Santa and snowflakes. Let's see how that one looks. So I'm going to crop it, but oops. This time I'm going to like crop it like half of it. And we'll see how that works. So that's, right here, number 17. I'm just going to drag it over here. And then let's do the same thing and we'll upload it. We'll see how it looks. If we don't like it, then we'll go back to one of the other ones. So this is Santa and snowflakes. That's not how you spell that, Michaela. Get it together, woman. All right. Now this one's probably going to take a little bit longer because it is bigger, but we will bear with it till it's done. Alright, so it just finished up, so I'm going to go back over here to my thing. I always just hit shape to bring me back to this, but I'm not necessarily entering a new shape. So I'm going to click on this one again, and we're going to change the pattern. Try this one out. See how it looks. Come on. Alright, and then we'll just make it bigger. Hopefully, that looks better. I don't necessarily like it, but it definitely looks better than the other one did. Trying to see about where I like it at. I think we'll do it about right there. So there is our Santa and our snowflakes. Now, you can tell this is made by the same person because last week I used snowflakes as my like strip washi. I am going to change it this time, but I'm going to go ahead and give you the dimension of that one. So for the long piece, I'm actually going to change this one. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. I'm still going to leave it the same length, so that's 6.438. But last week I did 1/2 inch in thickness. I'm going to up that just a hair. We're going to do like 5. Let's see what 5.3 makes it. Yeah, we're going to do it like 5.3. And I'm going to do the same thing for the short one. So for the shorter one, I had the dimension lengthwise at 4.813. And that worked perfectly to cover that space. And then, like I said, I'm going to make the thickness 0.53. So it's a little over 1/2 inch. That should give me a little more coverage. It fit in the box, but it didn't cover up both lines on the top and bottom, and I like it to do that. So that's why I'm going to change that one a little bit. All right, so now let's figure out what we want to put in that box. Let's do something red. I don't remember which one this was, but we're going to try it. Oh wow, it's like way zoomed out, whatever it is. Oh, it's the Christmas trees. Okay, I actually like that. We'll do Christmas trees. That's cute. And then we'll do the same thing for this one. I think it was this one. Do it like that. That way they're about the same size. If you use the same number scale, it doesn't necessarily work because one box is bigger than the other. So the scale, even though the number of scale is the same, it kind of looks a little off. That's one thing I learned last week. My snowflakes were smaller on the smaller one than they were on the big one. So you live and you learn. I'm going to go ahead and just delete these numbers because, like I said, I'm not going to use those this week. I'm just going to try and grab all of them at once here. I'm going to get rid of those. All right, so then let's go down here to this. Now, this week I had it gray. I think I might try red. I am going to unflatten it. Now, this is the biggest reason why I did not want to remake this whole sheet, because it took me forever to get everything placed perfectly on these strips for the headers. And you can still tell they're not placed exactly perfectly, like these two don't line up, but the rest of it is very close. And once you lay it down, you don't notice it, like it's good with where it needs to be. I am going to make the words a little bit smaller in size. So let's see. Oh, first I'm going to give you the dimensions of the boxes. They should be the same as that up there, but I am going to leave them at a 1/2 inch. So this one is 6.438 width and 1/2 inch like in height or thickness. And this one is 4.813 width and 1/2 inch thickness. So I'm going to leave those the same just because that one doesn't matter as much since it's not actually filling in a box. So I want to make the words a little bit smaller just so Wednesday fits a little better. So actually I'm going to start with Wednesday. We'll see what we need to do to make it look better. So let's go down to like a 15 maybe. I think that will look a lot better. So let's make all of these a 15. And I used the Gen Plans font for this, and I just did everything in capital letters. I just thought that looked a little better than having it not in capital letters, if that makes any sense at all. I just like the way it looked like that. So, all right, we're going to make all those a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to leave them right where they are now. Now, within this little box here, these little white boxes, I'm going to go ahead and add a text. And I'm going to flip to next week in my thing so I can see what the dates are. So Monday is the 7th. So I'm going to type a 7. And we're going to come up here and we're going to make it the Gen Plans font. And I'm just going to like scale it down using this little thing to fit, oh come on, in the box. Alright, so that looks decent. I'm going to make it just, we're going to do 16 even, maybe. See what that looks like. Yeah, that way it'll be easy to do all of them with. And I'm going to center them inside, you know what, let's first, because I don't want that little white box to move, I'm going to go ahead and grab, come on, I'm going to click the white box and I'm going to grab all the other white boxes and the text. And then I'm going to grab the gray thing, and this one's going to be a flatten. That way it stays all the same. It's going to print that as one image and not separate things. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, oh, come on, bring it to the front. Oh, y'all, I'm struggling with this 7. Alright, so we're going to put it in there. I'm not super worried about making sure it's perfectly centered because that's going to change every single week. And quite honestly, if I was laying down the sticker that had 7, it would not be perfectly centered. So yeah, we're just going to go with that. And then I'm just going to copy and paste and make all the other numbers. Come on. It's being so slow right now. Okay, copy and paste again. This one's going to be a 9. Okay, paste another one. And let's see, Thursday should be the 10th, and it is. So I just go through every single one like this. and place them as close to where I need it to be as possible. Good with me. And for you can always click up here to duplicate up in the right hand, like the top right hand corner of that little sidebar thing. Using a Mac, I just Command V or Command C and then Command V to paste. That's just my little shortcut way of doing it. And I feel cool because I know that. That's why I was going to share it with you guys. Oh crap, I did not fix that one. Let's quickly grab all the white boxes and the words. I don't think I grabbed Friday. And we're going to flatten them. That way they won't move like it just did. Move backward. Backward again. Alright, that brought it back up here. So now I can, oh goodness, come on now. There we go. I can finish out these numbers. Oh, great. Let's just go ahead and click undo because there's no way I'm going to get that back perfectly. Y'all, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to bear with me. I'm still learning. Come on. Why don't you grab the little 11? There we go. 11 is such a tiny number when you type it out like this. Alright, 12th, and then Sunday should be the 13th. And it is. So, last one. Oh, that took way longer than expected. No! What the heck? Why am I struggling so hard right now? These are just simple numbers and moving them around. This should not be this hard. I am like severely struggling with it though. It's also lunchtime, so I'm starting to think about other things. Or it's almost lunchtime. For me at least. Alright, so, oh, that's not even close to centered. I said I didn't care, but I kind of care. So we're going to kind of make that a little better. Alright, so now I'm just going to grab our little numbers. And then I'm going to grab the big box that has everything else, and we are going to flatten all of that together. And I'm going to do the same thing with these. So I'm going to hit Shift. Nope, go out here. I'm going to hit Shift and grab our 7, our 8, and our 9. Then we're going to grab the big box and flatten it. Perfect. Alright, so now we're done with those. We're done with that. We've got that updated. Oh crap, I completely forgot to change the color of these. So I'm going to unflatten them. Great times, guys, great times. I'm probably going to have to unflatten it again. And then I can change the color. Alright, so let's see. I want to show you guys quickly how I do the color drop thing. That way you guys will know. And then I'm going to use something other than gray because I did not like gray this week. Alright, so I downloaded this little app called Color Snapper 2. You can just Google it. But when you download it, it put a little thing up here in my top left corner. I need to make this a little bit wider. Okay, maybe not. It's not going to happen, but that's fine. So it put this little thing up here at the top right, little bar at the top. It looks like a little color dropper, and when you click it, you can choose pick color, so that you can come down here and, like, if I wanted to do the brown, I could do that, or I could grab this, or white, or red, or whatever. I'm going to try the brown, and it will give it to you like this. So in Cricut Design Space, you need this number, or the one with the little number sign in front of it. And then when you click back up here, it will give you all the colors you've ever grabbed with, like, in that format. If you need to change your format, though, you can come back over here and, like, say I needed these 3 numbers. When I click back up here, it'll give it to me in my 3 numbers. So that way it's, like, quicker to reference. I'm going to change it back to the one with that. So what we need is D3B89B. 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 Then you come down here and you type that in. D3B89B. And that makes it into that color. Now, we can put these back together. So we're going to flatten all of those. And then I'm going to send it backwards so that it will bring all these numbers back to the front. And then we'll just do the same thing with the numbers. So I have my box already selected, select all the numbers, flatten, and it is ready to go. Alright, so now with the same thing with this one, we're going to have to unflatten it again, and then I think one more time. Yeah. Alright, and it should send the numbers to the back. Perfect. So I'm going to grab that, and it saves your color so you don't have to do it twice. So we're ready for that now. I'm just going to grab everything and put it back together. Now, you won't flatten everything you use. It's kind of tricky when you're first learning to figure out what you flatten and what you attach. When you flatten something, it becomes all together. It will print out just like that as a sticker. When you attach, it basically kind of like groups them together. I don't really know the difference between attaching something and grouping something. Well, I guess attaching, when you go to print it, it will stay in that one spot. So like once we're completely done, I will attach all of these stickers to each other so that they don't move. Like when they print, they will print in the same spots that they're in right now, if that makes any sense. Because if not, Cricut Design Space will rearrange where everything is to be what it thinks is most efficient. So that just kind of throwing that out there. Alright, so now let's come down here and I want to show you guys how I did these little stickers that are like more specialty looking. And I'm actually going to change the sizing of the stickers this time. I want to make these enough to fit like an 1.5-hour block instead of just, I think I did an hour this time. Yeah, so I'm going to grab my ruler over here to the side and I'm going to re-measure for that. So in order to get it, that is not even the right ruler. I was trying to use my Erin Condren ruler and it does not have every, like, down to like a 16th. And that's what I need. So, let me, I know you guys can't see me, but I'm trying to like grab my other ruler and measure. So, it's about like, I'm going to say like 3/4 of an inch. So, instead of being 1/2 inch now, we're going to make this one 0.75. Oh crap, that is not what we're going to do. I forgot to unlock my dimensions. Come on. Alright, so we're going to try this again. We're going to unlock our dimensions and then we're going to change it to 0.75. So that'll make it thicker. And I'm only going to do 3, I think, this time. Because I just don't have quite as much going on next week. So I don't need as many. So I'm just going to delete this guy. Because we don't need him. Come on. What is this thing doing? Delete. There we go. Alright, and then I can bump him down, unlock his dimensions, and make him 0.75 as well. And I'll fix the scaling of the things in the back because we're going to change those anyways for this week. For this one, I'm going to move some of these up here just to kind of reformat how it's going to print. Why is it not keeping up with my mouse? That way I can change the sizing of this one as well. And now for each of these, like I'm doing the 0.75 for the thickness, all these stickers and all the appointment labels are all going to be 1.562 in width. That's enough to pretty much cover from line to line in the hourly planner, like side to side, if that makes any sense. If you have a planner, you probably know what I'm trying to say. But that just works for that. So now I'm going to click back on this one and unflatten. And I'm actually going to zoom in some because we're working on these tinier stickers now. That way it'll be a little bit easier for y'all to see. So I clicked on this one, I unflattened it. I'm going to leave that box the same for now. I will change that color. And I'm going to go up here and figure out which pattern I want to try. So I know I want to do one with the candy canes. I think that's this one. I could be wrong, but I think that's that one. Yes, so then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's go down one, maybe. Nope, let's go back up one. We'll leave it there. And then I'm going to change this inside color to be this lighter red option. Just think that fits a little better. And then we'll come over here. Oh, we're actually going to grab both of these and we're going to flatten them back together. Then we'll come over here and unflatten, and we'll do the same thing. I just do 3 different patterns though. So for this one, I'm going to do the plain snowman thing, if that makes sense. And then we'll edit, make it a little bit bigger so you can actually see the Santa heads. Let's see. That looks okay. And I'm going to leave the red the same color. Actually, let's try this. I'm going to make it the same color as the background, but then what I do is go down here to Advanced and drag it over so that it makes it a little bit lighter. So we're going to do it like that. And then flatten. And then we do the last one. It's a process. This is going a lot quicker than when I had to make everything though. Just want to throw that out there. Let's see what this one looks like. I think this one's like snowflakes or something. Come on. Yes. So I'm going to do it about right there. You can see that you can actually tell everything behind it. And I'm just going to leave that red box the same. So we're going to flatten those 2 back together. And now these 3 are ready to print. All right, so now the only thing we have left to change is the colors of these appointment labels. The skinny ones are 1/4 of an inch high, like in height or thickness. That's enough to fill in like a 30-minute box. And then these bigger ones are 1/2 an inch high. That's enough to fill in an hour. And then, like I said, these other ones that we just made are for an hour and a half. So that way it kind of gives you a little idea of what your dimensions are, and everything is, again, the width of 1.562. So just want to throw that out there. I'm going to leave the red ones still that red color, but I am going to change the gray because we don't have any gray this time. I'm going to change it to this brown color. So what I do is I do this darker box. It is 0.45 like in width. So I'm going to change it to this actual darker color. And then this box over here, I'm going to change to that lighter tan color. And then I just flatten those back together. And then I'm going to delete these 2 up here and just make a duplicate of that. So we have 1, 2, 3. So yeah, and then I'm just going to, we'll put one of them right here. And I will drag the other one up here. Just so that's where it prints out at. The red I'm going to leave the same. I am going to change these to be that brown as well. So we will fix that up really quick to unflatten. And I do have thick red ones as well. They're just on a different page. So we'll see that in just a second. And flatten this back together. And then we'll make a couple more. All right, so this pretty much finishes off this page. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to zoom back out so that we can see everything all together. And I'm going to hold the shift key and I'm going to grab every sticker that we've got here. And you just have to make sure you grab all of them, because if not, then they will not print. So I'm going to grab all those and I'm going to attach them all so they'll stay right where they're at. And then I'm going to continue to have those, well, I'm going to give it a second to load. Then I'm going to keep those highlighted, hold the shift key again, and grab the white box behind it. Make sure they're still centered in there. And then I'm going to hit attach again. So now that one is fully ready to be printed. That one's completely done. Now I know that last week my main 2 colors were red and gray, and this week they're this brown color and gray. like this light tan. But that's just because of the images or the digital paper I picked off Etsy. If you wanted something where you had a bunch more colors to work with, you just pick different things. I think for the next week, or at least for the week of Christmas, I'm going to use one that has like all the traditional colors like reds and greens. So it will have more colors to pick from. But I just like the simplicity of having 2 colors and it just looking very simple in my planner. So it's just kind of what we're doing right now. So now that this one's completely done, I'm just going to drag it up here to the top corner and we are done with it. So now we're going to go down here and find this guy. Now for this dude, we don't have as much to change on it. So these 3, let me go ahead and just unflatten everything. Or detach, I didn't mean unflatten. So I'm going to detach that. And then, come on, I'm going to grab this little box inside and detach all the stickers. Now these 3 little thicker things, we're going to leave the same. Those are the ones I was just telling you about, are the like appointment labels that fit in an hour, just like those brown ones we made at the top. These other 3 little bars fit perfectly on the lines on the left-hand sidebar where I like to put, I do one for to-dos, one for my videos that week, and then one for dinners. This week I did not use the video sticker because I made a this week sticker. So this time I'm gonna delete the this week sticker. I just don't need that. And I'm gonna use the videos one. So that is I'm gonna leave those red just because I think that having more red than all that brown will be a little bit better. So then I'm gonna change our background on these washies. So let's do one. Let's do one with the snowflakes maybe. I'm going to go back up here and see. Alright, I did trees for that one, so I don't want to do trees. Let's do one with snowflakes. I think that'll look okay. So we'll do these 2 snowflakes, and we'll pick something different for that one. And then just make it a little bit bigger. So we'll do 132. And since these are the same size, you can do the same scale for both. Just to kind of throw that out there. I hope I'm not boring you guys with this, but I'm not going to do a lot of editing on this video because I want you guys to get out of it everything you want to get out of it. Like I want to make sure that I'm giving you what you want to see. So I'm not going to really edit a lot out of this one. If I'm boring you, I'm sorry. Tell me in the comment section how I can make it better for next time, but for now, this is just kind of what we're going to work with. Alright, so we've got that one. Let's see if we can do one of this little Santa head that we did for our big box that goes on the side. Let's just see what we can make it look like. I think it's going to be a little too much. We might could do it like that. So we'll do 75. That doesn't look terrible. I'm not a fan of that one. I just think the Santa's heads look funny. Like, when you zoom in close enough, you can tell that he's supposed to look like he's smiling. But when you're not zoomed in that far, it just looks like his mouth is just sitting open. Like, you can't tell that he's actually smiling at you. I just think it looks creepy. Okay, so now that's done. Now, my checklist that I made did not come out the exact length that I wanted them to. So I'm going to remeasure quickly. Let's see. So we're going all the way down to that line. So they are supposed to be almost, I think I did them at like 1.5 inches. Yeah. And it's actually a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to delete like all but one. Alright, so now I'm going to make it like 1.57. And that will make it a little bit bigger. Actually, go back. Because I did not take off my dimensions. My little dimension lock. So I'm going to take that off. And we're going to do 1.57. I hope that's not too much. I think that'll be okay. I think I can deal if it's a little bit over. Then we're going to lock it back. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. And then we're going to I make one for every day. So we need 7. So then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. And then I'm just going to grab all of them. I'm going to go up here to a line and tell them to center vertically so that'll get them all in the same like gist of area. And then I'm just going to move them all back up here. All right. So now we've got those right where we want them. So the only other thing that I want to change is the sizing of these words. Because I've already done a video on how to make my script stickers, so I'm not going to redo that. But I made them just a little bit too big. They still fit in that, but I'm just going to knock it down like 1 point. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come up here and make this like 5.44. And I'm going to leave my dimension lock on so that it makes the whole thing a little bit smaller. So we're going to make all of them like that. Alright, so I'm going to make one more script sticker to save for school. And I'm going to have a couple of those. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull up my stuff here. And I'm going to go to Pixlr. So we'll go Photo Editor Online. And then log in. It's a free like setup. You don't have to pay for anything. I just made an account. And I'm going to go to Advanced Pixlr E. I'm going to log out of that. Create new. Now the only thing with this is it does not, I can't figure out how to make it save my words, if that makes sense. I mean my, come on, why is it not making a text? There we go, add. I cannot get it to figure out how to save my font. I use the Jen Plans font for everything, as you guys know, and it does not save it every time I have to go back in and add a new local font. So I'm just going to quickly go up here to Etsy. I hope this doesn't show any information that you guys shouldn't see. So far I think we're good. I just search for Jen Plans. I'm going to download the files again. Download. And I'm just going to leave them up there in my downloads. Come back over here to Pixlr. Choose Add a Local Font. And go to Downloads. Jen Plans font. And click Jen Plans. There we go. Alright, so now I just make the color of the actual text black. And then I come up here to Styles. We add an outline. And I like the outline to be white. What is happening? There we go. And I do the outline like usually around like 8 or 9. We're going to do 8 for this one just because that looks okay. And then you go up here to save. And I'm just going to title it School Download. Alright. And then we'll go back to Cricut Design Space. And we will upload a new image. And I'm just going to browse my downloads again. It's right there. For these, I always just do complex and then I hit continue all the way through and then save. And I'm going to choose it over here whenever it loads. There we go, and insert image. Now it's going to insert it bigger than what we want it, so I'll have to size it back down to our height that we figured out. Here it comes. Alright, so I'm going to come back over here and make it 0.24. So that way it'll be the same size as these guys. And then I'm going to make a copy because I'll have 2 days of school next week. Oh goodness, that is not what we wanted to happen. And then we're going to duplicate. Okay. Cool beans. So I think that is it as far as what I want to add and changes I want to make. So now for this one, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to go through and we're going to grab all of these stickers. And then once we've got all of them like connected together, and I'm going to give it a second to catch up, I'm going to hit attach. Come on. There we go. And then we will grab the little box on the outside. Actually, I didn't move anything, so it's already centered with that. But we'll grab this big white box and attach it again. So, that should be good for our kit for next week. Now, I know this is pretty simple. I don't put a lot of thought into, I mean, I did once I was figuring out for the first time. But now that I kind of have a basic outline for what I like it to look like, I just change out the patterns. So that should be what I have to do every week. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it, but I'm going to stop the screen record here. So the next time that you see the kit, I will show you what it looks like when we've got it all made and ready to put down. And then depending on how long this video is, I may tack my weekly plan with me onto the end of this, or I may just do this in 2 separate videos. But you guys let me know what you think on that. Would you rather see it all together, or would you rather see one video, like maybe on Friday of me making the stickers, and then on Saturday of me actually laying them down, or like Saturday or Sunday? You guys let me know what you think about that. But I'm going to go ahead and go off screen and make this. So I will show you guys the finished product once it's done. Alright, so here is our finished product. As you can see, it cut out the big white box all the way around, and then it kiss cut all of these stickers individually. So we've got that, and then we've got this one. I'm actually pleased with how that one turned out on paper. It looks okay. Definitely not my favorite thing, but it looks good to me. So that's going to be it for this video. I looked back and saw how long the other part of this video was, so that is going to be it for this. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them in the comment description below. In the comment box below. And I will try to leave everything that I used in the description box. But if I forget anything, somebody call me out on it and I will try to fix that. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next in the weekly plan with me with these stickers. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.